Hello, everybody. Welcome at this week's Sparkling Conversation. We are privileged to have Ilse Beukes today, who's going to talk to us. Thank you, Ilse.
Thank you, Raylene. Prevent disaster, create breakthrough. I want us to look at the following two examples where small changes created breakthroughs, or the neglect thereof could have prevented disasters. Let us start with the definition of disaster. The sum total of small, insignificant things overlooked over time that falls into alignment. Now let us look at the example of the Cincinnati oil tanker disaster. On December the 17th of 1976, at a port in Los Angeles, a Liberian oil tanker called the Cincinnati unloaded a cargo of oil. Afterwards, they refueled the ship and filled the empty cargo tanks with seawater, a routine called ballasting. At 7:35 p.m., the tanker exploded. The force of the blast could be felt 40 miles away. A chunk of the 70,000 tons boat's midsection was blown out of the water and it landed in the parking lot. 9 people lost their lives and more than 50 were seriously injured. What was the cause of this blast? Number 1, it was a perfect wind-still day. Number 2, rusty air vents on the tanks that were not maintained. The rusted air vents forced the gas to escape and was stationary above the boat due to the wind-still day. And then the third thing, possibly a small flame of a match from someone lighting a cigarette caused the explosion. Many times in our lives, like in the example of the Cincinnati oil tanker, we overlook small significant things that in the long run can cause damage in our lives and relationships. I would like to read 2 quotes of James Clear out of his book Atomic Habits. Small, incremental changes can result in massive results. Breakthrough moments is the result of many previous actions. Let us look at the second example, the broken window theory. If a window is broken and left unrepaired, people walking by will conclude that no one cares and no one is in charge, and that gives the invitation to more serious crimes. The broken window theory teaches us that when we overlook small mistakes or misconduct, it will create 1, an environment of disorder, and 2, the invitation to overlook bigger mistakes and more serious misconduct. Over time, that will create serious problems that will prevent us from becoming successful. On the other hand, if we are disciplined and do not overlook even the smallest of mistakes or misconduct, it will create an environment of order and lawfulness. Prevent more serious mistakes or misconduct, and create an environment that will promote success. During the 1980s, New York City averaged well over 2,000 murders and 600,000 serious crimes a year. Underground, in the subways, conditions could only be described as chaotic. What really matters is the little things. You solve big problems by starting to solve the small ones. They focused on 3 things. They fixed the broken windows, they covered the graffiti by painting the walls, and arrested people who did not pay for their underground train tickets. Suddenly, the epidemic tipped. Murders dropped by 2/3, serious crimes were cut in half, and the crimes on the subway declined with 75%. It was a few small but influential changes in the environment of the city that allowed these factors to tip into a major reduction in crime. Caesar Millen said that you will not change what you tolerate. Courtney Stevens said that if nothing changes, nothing changes. We can now answer the following questions in order to prevent disaster and or create breakthrough in our own lives. I will repeat the questions at the end. What small changes can you make? And or are there any small things that you are currently overlooking and not changing with regards to you as a facilitator or in your current job, in your health, in your finances, or in your relationships? I will repeat. What small changes can you make? And or are there any small things that you are currently overlooking and not changing as a facilitator or in your job, in your health, in your finances, or in your relationships?